So the other day when I was reading through some comments, I stumbled upon a suggestion for a video that was just way too bizarre to pass up. It was a link to a Tumblr page by the name of Fan Theories and Food Porn. There will be a link in the description, and I highly suggest that you actually check it out because of how insane the theory sounds. It's actually thought-provoking and well presented, and if nothing else, it's just a pretty fun read. So as you can probably tell by the title of this video, this fan theory suggests the possibility of Gappy or Josuke's stand, Soft and Wet, becoming King Crimson at some point in JoJolion. And I know guys, it might sound insane, but before I give my thoughts and opinions on this theory, let's just go into it with an open mind and just remember that I did not write this theory and I am just laying it out there for you guys, but we'll discuss it at the end. So the theory starts off by talking about the stands that belong to the Higashikata family, specifically the stands' naming schemes and how they all have King in the name. Tsurugi's Paper Moon King, Daya's California King Bed, Joshu's Nut King Call, Jobin with Speed King, and Norisuke's King Nothing. And at the time this theory was written, Hado and Kato stands were not yet named yet, but since then, Hado Higashikata's stand name has been confirmed as Walking Heart, so Walking Heart, so technically it does have King in the name. But Kato's is still unnamed, and I don't think that her name will continue the naming scheme of having King in the name because she is not a Higashikata by blood. So what the theory is getting at is that Gappy is technically a member of the family, but his stand Soft and Wet doesn't fit the naming scheme, but may go under some evolution that changes the stand's name, which isn't unheard of in JoJo. So the theory is suggesting that the name scheming is foreshadowing to Soft and Wet's evolution, and yes, I know this is extremely far-fetched, but the writer of the theory makes it clear that in order for this theory to actually be viable, that is not enough and there has to be more connections, so he makes some more connections. The next main point is about the stand's abilities and how they are more similar than you might think. King Crimson's ability, very basically, is to remove a certain amount of time from the timeline, and Soft and Wet's ability is to plunder or steal things with its bubbles. And then the theory goes on about how Gappy's ability isn't really to steal things, but rather to remove something or take something out of play temporarily. And the things he steals don't need to be physical things, but rather things like sight, sound, and smells, so they make the point that stealing time isn't that far of a stretch. And also how Soft and Wet is fused with Killer Queen, which has the ability to erase things from existence, and in the original universe, the original Killer Queen eventually gained the ability to do the same thing but to entire timelines with its Bites the Dust ability. Okay, the theory then moves on from the stand abilities and looks at the characters themselves and the similarities between Diavolo and Gappy. The theory makes the point that Diavolo and Doppio are two people living inside the same body, similar to how Gappy is a combination of two individuals merged into one, Josefume and Kira. Also, how Diavolo's goal is to erase his identity from the world, when Gappy's goal is the opposite, as for the better part of JoJolion he is searching to find his identity, asking for help from the entire world around him. This theory's next point is that the Rokakaka is the key for Josuke's stand to evolve, and how it is possible for at one point in JoJolion for Josuke to use the power of the Rokakaka for whatever reason to gain something like a new stand or evolved stand in exchange for something of equal value. And the thing the Rokakaka would take from Josuke is something that he values more than anything, his memories, but specifically his memories of Yasuo. And that's pretty much the theory of Josuke gaining the stand King Crimson in JoJolion. Alright, pretty interesting theory, but now for my opinion. So the theory is split up into 4 sections, the first being the basis or foundation for how the theory started, and that is the King name scheming of the Higashikata family. The next section is the stand's similarities and abilities, followed by the similarities in the characters themselves, and then ending with how Josuke would actually obtain King Crimson. So starting off with the first section of this theory, the foundation, the basis for how it all started. And I just don't see it as very viable, as although all of the Blood Higashikata family members so far do have stands with King in the name, Gappy is in no way a Higashikata, and there is no reason for him to have a stand fitting the theme, as his stand is the stand of Josefume, but with a slightly different ability. So the stand that Gappy has makes perfect sense for his character, and if anything, it really wouldn't make any sense at all for him to acquire a stand that is related to the Higashikata family, because he's just sort of being taken care of by them at the moment. So the next point to look at is the similarities presented by their abilities. So this did seem like a bit of a stretch, as I don't see Soft and Wet being able to remove or steal time at any point in JoJolion as of right now, but rather maybe he would steal or remove people's memories of a certain event to produce a similar effect. I definitely think that's something more in the realm of Soft and Wet Sweat's capabilities rather than being able to steal or remove time itself. And making the connection between the original Killer Queen's Bites the Dust ability, just no, for so many reasons. So now on to the similarities in the characters themselves. Although Gappy does have the features of two people in one body, he is most definitely not two people sharing the same body, as 99.8% of Kira's body was found dead and is not merged with Gappy. And also the fact that Gappy is an entirely new person, completely separate from Josuke and both Kira, with his own identity and just one identity, in comparison to Diavolo. And the last point of this theory is, how would Gappy's stand evolve? And it's by using the Rokakaka in an equivalent exchange for his memories. And this part of the theory is by far the strongest point of the theory, as I could definitely see at some point in JoJolion, Gappy being in a very dire situation, metaphorically backed into a corner and forced to use the Rokakaka, and in exchange losing all of his memories that he's worked so hard for and being set back to zero. But the Rokakaka giving Gappy King Crimson? Probably not. So that was the theory of Josuke gaining the stand King Crimson. Like I mentioned, it's still a really fun theory and it's still thought-provoking, so the link is definitely down there, and I definitely recommend you guys going to the link and reading the entire theory, as I obviously didn't include all of the details, and it's just presented really well, and big props to whoever wrote this theory. I appreciate it. I couldn't find an actual writer. It's just on the fan theories and food porn Tumblr page, so it's there for you to read. I suggest you do it. So as for my opinion, you guys heard it. I do not think that this is going to be the way that JoJolion pans out. But be sure to let me know your opinion on this theory in the comment section down below. Like the video if I fought your boredom or if you enjoyed, and of course subscribe for more videos. I had a lot of fun reading this, and if you guys have any fan theories on JoJolion or just JoJo in general, definitely leave it down below in the comments. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed.